Hello, everybody. Caveman TCG come to you a Sacred Beast deck profile. Sacred Beast has been since GX ultimately my favorite deck or my favorite cards because they never really been a deck until a really recent support. Shadow Beckoning Beast or the Shadow Beast. The first cards out, Fallen Paradise were good, but you can never really consistency bring out the Sacred Beast consistent or having other cards to basically bring them out, but they were never really as consistent as they were now, thanks to the structure deck. And I remember going to Toys R Us and buying a whole bunch of Shadow and Infinity packs, and I must have spent close to thousands of dollars on Shadow and Infinity packs to try to pull these, and I never pulled them. And my cousin actually pulled one of them. It was a Hamon. But the only access that I really got into them were the tens, and they were amazing. But let's get into this deck profile, and this is more of a casual, somewhat competitive, but not too competitive. You're not gonna last really too long with Phantom Knight's Brave Engine and or anything meta right now to prank kids. But this is good enough to play casual, play for fun, play with your friends, or even somewhat go locals, and you maybe pick up a couple matches up. You know, this deck has a lot of weaknesses. One negate can really destroy you, and I'm still working on this deck. I'm still trying to figure out what's the best build for it, and what's the best cards to put in. Right now, this is more of my fun, competitive mode, and I'm still trying to build this. Waiting for the hidden arsenals for the skill drains, because skill drains is a pretty pricey card at like $30 each. But without further ado, let's get this deck profile under way. First, the main card, the main monster card that we play would be three Dark Beckoning Beast. Three Dark Beckoning Beasts. This card is your starter. It helps you search for any card that has the name of the sacred beast, Hamon, Ravael, or Uriel. Any card, whether it's magic, trap, or monster, or the monsters themselves. Now, this card gets hand trapped. It's sad times. It's a real sad time because you really depend on this card to get your whole combo started, your whole engine started, or your full combo where you can get Fall into Paradise and two Sacred Beasts. So if it does go through, he has a second effect where you can actually normal summon again as long as it's a level about zero a fiend monster with zero attack or zero defense. And this card it's basically the card you want to see in your opening hand. After him, we play the three Chaos Summoning Beasts. Chaos Summoning Beast is another card you really want to see Dark Beckoning Beast and the magic card in your hand. But if you see this card in your hand and one of the other two, it's basically full combo. Chaos Summoning Beast is another great card. If they didn't ash your Dark Beckoning Beast or her, this is a card that can be hit with the Call by the Grave, I believe it's called. Yeah, Call by the Grave. But this card, it was on the field. You can tribute it and summon a sacred beast straight from your hand to the field, and this is what the last two cards are what the deck really needed. The search out of the card and to summon it from your hand. That doesn't restrict you from not attacking like the dark summoning beast does. But once you do tribute this monster from the field to the graveyard, has a second effect where you can banish it from the graveyard and add a Fallen Paradise straight from the deck to your hand. It's another card that the deck absolutely needed. Next card we play, two Dark Summoning Beasts. Dark Summoning Beast is one of the older support that this deck had, and it really needed the support back then too, but it was just not enough to consistently get the Sacred Beast out. And if you did, you can only get one out. And if you use his effect that tributes himself from the field to the graveyard, you can summon out one Sacred Beast from the deck or your hand, but you cannot attack the turn that you used not turn, but after that you cannot attack after you use his effect. So a lot of times, or turn two, turn three, if you're bringing him out and you have a field already, you will want to attack before using his effect, because he start uses his effect, you cannot attack. He has another effect that once he's in the graveyard, you can banish him and add a sacred beast from your deck to your hand, which is good. So if you have a chaos summoning beast on the field, you can banish dark summoning beast from your graveyard, bring a sacred beast to your hand, and then use chaos summoning beast to bring it to the field. Now to the sacred beast himself, I play two Hamon. To me, this is one of the best ones now. Back I think for on my favorite's Raphael, but this is one of the best ones right now. If he's summoned and he's in defense, your opponent has to attack him. They can't choose any targets to attack. And a new magic, a continuous spell card helps him be even better. But anyway, I play two of them. You bring them to the field. Sometimes you want to bring them to attack if you do have the spell card in your hand. But if you have Uriah out or any other lower monster, you will want to bring him down defense to protect that monster. So, and he has another effect where if he does destroy a monster, you do inflict 1,000 points of 1,000 damage life points to your opponent. After him, we play about. I played two Raphael. Uh, he's just there for the support card. He's also just there for another body. He's a big booty. He has 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense, and when a monster is normal summoned, you do special summon one Phantasm token with 1,000 attack, 1,000 defense, and you can attribute that token on your turn or any other monster on your turn to basically gain that monster's attack. He's good. He's also there for the name, and he's also there because he had a support card that actually can help you OTK or destroy all their monsters on their field, and we'll get to that later on. I played the one Uriah. Uriah is he was like one of the best cards. And it depends on who you talk to, rather. But I do like a Uriah, and I made a deck just for him by himself, and I absolutely love that deck. But Uriah, his attack and his defense, I believe, or not just his attack. His attack is based on how many continuous traps you have in the graveyard, and I do run a lot of continuous traps in this deck, and I would love to get some skill drinks to add in here so I can, kind of bring that continuous trap number up. But if he's on the field, he can pop one spell or trap card. Yeah, one set spell or trap card on the field, and your opponent cannot activate the card that you're targeting to destroy. Neither player can respond to it. Yeah, and the trap card that he has just surprises your opponents, or they can look at your graveyard and see that you don't have maybe one or two, or that you have maybe 1,000 attack, one continuous trap card in your graveyard, and you have 1,000 attack. And when you flip that card up, you can send one trap card to your graveyard and just booster his attack right up. Well, we'll get to that when we get to the trap card. But I play one of him, enough to summon the fusion cards out for the OTK, and I just gotta play all three of them. Play the one Raphael, Lord of Phantasm, Shimmy Scraper. Now this is the card that you want to OTK with, basically. By this card straight from your hand, you basically give Raphael double the attack, so it will have 8,000 attack, and you can attack every monster on the field. Yeah. Then he has a second effect where he's in your graveyard. You contribute one monster from your field to add that card back to your hand. Or another card in here, we can, basically attack for gain. No matter if there's a monster in attack or defense, there's a card in here that will let us penetrate. But this is a great card like I played one of. It's also searchable with Dark Beckoning Beast and the spell card. After that, I play one Chaos Core. Chaos Core, this card's really not a staple. You can take this card out, but I use this card for to get into my fusion. You dump all your basically if he's targeted by a monster effect, you can dump all 3 Sacred Beast cards to your graveyard, which helps out with the fusion card that we have to bring out Armital and attack for game. But you play when you play one of this card's very situational. It doesn't come up a lot. Sometimes it could be a dead in your hand, but if it does come up, it's just golden to hit your opponent for 10,000 life points. I played the one Ash Blossom. It basically stops your opponent's search. But I played the one because it's more of a cross out designated designated target, and one hand trap can basically kill this deck. So you can play, maybe take out if you're not trying to play the fusions or you're not really trying to get into the fusion more, you can take out the Chaos Core to add another Ash Blossom. But yeah, Ash Blossom is staple. Something you can say about it. It's Ash Blossom. Now we go into our spell cards. I played 3 of the opening of the Spirit Gates. There's another card. This is another main searcher of the deck. If they're not hitting the Dark Beckoning Beast, they're gonna hit this card. If you don't have your Dark Beckoning Beast, this card can search your Dark Beckoning Beast. Then you can go off. Then you just want to see the Chaos or Dark Beckoning Beast or the other one. I forgot this name. So basically, you want to see the Dark Beckoning Beast, the Chaos Summoning Beast, or the Dark Summoning Beast with this card in your hand. If you see one of the two or two of them, you have full combo. So if you have this card and Dark Beckoning Beast, full combo. Chaos Summoning Beast and this card, full combo. Same thing with Dark Beckoning Beast. If you have that one plus any other monsters, it's full combo. But this card is great. It helps you search out your Dark Beckoning Beast or any other card. Any card, any monster, I believe. Any monster that has the Sacred Beast cards in their name. So, I think this card has 3 effects, and they're fucking great. So, not only is it a search, but you can discard 1 card in your hand to the graveyard, special summon 1 fiend that has 0 attack, 0 defense from your graveyard. So basically, it works with you use your Dark Beckoning Beast, you tribute him off, or you link summon him off for Armirage or for the Chaos, for the Dark Summoning Beast. Now that you have a target in your graveyard because it needs a target, you can basically, while this card's in your hand, pitch him to the graveyard for cost. Now, since he's in your graveyard, he's a target. So you can basically bring him to the field from your hand, instead of the Dark Beckoning Beast. It's a great little combo to bring out basically 2 Sacred Beasts from your hand. And a third effect is, if you control a level 10 monster, you can basically bring a continuous spell card from your graveyard to your hand. So if you have one of these in your graveyard, you can bring it back to your hand. If you have one of the other spell cards that we only play one more continuous spell card in here. But if that's in your graveyard, you can bring that to your hand. It's just another card to recycle cards from your graveyard and start your combo again. After that, I play the Honorary Sacred Beast Searcher, or the Sacred Beast, your main combo searcher, Piri Rest Map. Now this card, at your start, your main phase, you gotta use it at your start. You can't use it another card first, then this one. You have to. It adds basically 1 monster with 0 attack to your deck, to your hand, which you must pay 1,000 life points. So now our Dark Beckoning Beast, 0 attack. Our Chaos Summoning Beast, 0 attack. Basically, our combo things have 0 attack, so it can search any of the 3 monsters, and all 3 monsters can be normal summon. Remember, Dark Beckoning Beast has that effect where you can extra normal summon, and you just have to switch up your combo around, rather not use the Armirage, and just go for the tribute summon of the Dark Summoning Beast, then use the gates to bring out the Chaos Summoning Beast. But yeah, this card's amazing. Then again, like I said, Ash Blossom, this basically will help against Ash Blossom. So the Ash Blossom, this card, and you do have the other combo pieces or starter pieces, you can basically still search and get the other cards. So this is a card that this deck really needed. If you do plan on using this card, you have to normal summon that card. You can't just search out Ash Blossom and use Ash Blossom effect to stop their combo or their effects, because you have to normal summon the card to get its effects. If you don't normal summon the card, you can't use the card's effects. All right. Next card I play, I just put this card back in the open, is 2 Fallen in Paradise. Fallen in Paradise is your field spell. You can basically, it's now searchable with your Chaos Summoning Beast by tributing him from the graveyard to your hand. This card's basically a pot of greed. Every turn that you have a Sacred Beast card in the field, draw 2. And who doesn't love to draw 2? And basically, too, your Sacred Beast and Armatile are basically safe from. They can't be targeted. They can't be targeted, and they cannot be destroyed by card effects. So it basically protects your field, and every turn you draw 2 to get some of your support cards or your control cards that are in this deck. Next, I play 3 Crossout Designators. Now, like I said, any hand trap can stop you in your tracks. This card basically helps this deck out a lot. So if they hit you with an Ash Blossom, Crossout Designator, bam, you're good. They hit you with a Infinite Impermanence, bam, you're good. Any hand trap in your locals or in the meta at the time, you can just replace some of the cards that are in here and add that card in here, and you can protect yourself from any hand trap. So you will basically declare one name, you will banish that declared name from your main deck, and it would negate the effects. You can only use this card one turn. So this card helps us out a lot. I play 2 Cosmic Cyclones. Now I play 2 because there's a lot of Dark Magicians running around, and they do have a fusion card that basically stops you from destroying their spells and traps, or any deck or anything that stops you from destroying their spells and traps, or Eldritch that their traps and spells want to be in a graveyard. Instead of destroying them, you just banish them and stop all that stuff altogether. You do pay 1,000 life points, but this card has helped me a lot. I played the 1 Cerulean Skyfire. This is the other continuous spell trap I play. If you happen to, this card helps you also summon Hamon with his own procedure, but instead of using face up continuous spell card, you can use basically any face down spell card. So they don't have to be continuous; it just has to be a spell card. So they can use them face up or face down. Well, he has an effect too, where if you have Hamon in face up attack, and they use a spell or trap card effect in resolution, you can negate it by switching your Hamon from attack to defense. This card can basically stop Super Poly. Super Poly cannot be responded to, but you're not really responding to it. You're more just, it's already activated, and you can negate its resolution. So instead of responding to it in a chain, you can just negate it at the resolution. And if any of your Sacred Beast cards are removed from the field, I believe you don't take no damage. Yeah, you take no. If any of your Sacred Beast cards leave the field, you take no damage. We played 1 Lightning Storm to get rid of back row or other monsters if they're too much or easy get out. Another Call by the Grave. We want to stop those hand traps from hitting us hard or stopping our plays. Play the 1 Dimension Fusion Destruction. Basically to bring out our Armatile. Yeah, they have to be in the graveyard, hand or field, and if you do have one, I believe this can't be responded to if it's on the field. All right, I play the two Awakening of the Sacred Beast. This card is also good. If you have one Sacred Beast on the field, whenever they summon, you gain attack. If you have two on the field, you negate any card they control, any monster card they control. So all it's basically another skill drain. And if you have three on the field, it's basically Dark Law. Any card that goes into the graveyard, any monster card that goes into the graveyard is banished instead. And has a fourth effect where if you have a Sacred Beast or a level 10 monster on the field, you can add a continuous trap card from your graveyard to your hand. Play the Hyper Blaze. This card basically sends, you can, same thing with Hamon summoning effect where you can summon Uriah instead of for the face of continuous traps, you can face more face down traps also. And when you do declare an attack, you can discard or send one trap card from your deck to your graveyard, and he gains that much attack from how many traps are in your graveyard, how many traps are in their graveyard. You know, he can get up to 10,000 attack, and he also has another effect where he can discard a card to summon or add a Sacred Beast card in the graveyard to the field if it was summoned properly or to your hand. Crackdown, we want to control the board, so you're gonna target their monsters, take their monsters, you know, use for link plays or anything else. We play two infinite permanents. We want to stop their plays. It's also a cross-out designator target. I play two Gravedigger's Trap Hole for turn 2, turn 3, turn 4 plays to stop their hand traps. Also, you know, I want to get my monsters out on the board, on the field. I play the one Lost Win to, you know, negate any special summon cards they have. It's also a trap, you know, to feed Uriah with the trap card. I play one Titan Outsider, same thing as Lost Win. You want to negate your opponent's fusion cards or extra deck cards. And same thing with Lost Winds, where if a monster is special summoned, I believe, you can't put these cards back to your hand or to the field. You know, you'll set them, but with Lost Wind, it's banished. With Titan Sider, is not. Now we go to my fusion cards or the extra deck. I play one Armital Chaos Phantasm of Fury. You basically put him out. He switches control. He goes to your opponent's side. And he banishes all their cards. Then after that, he summons a Armital, the Chaos Phantasm, to your field. So he'll go to the opponent's field, but he'll summon this card to your field. You know, this card has 10,000 attack on your turn, and he cannot be destroyed by battle. So he's usually, you know, take all their cards out their field and hit them hard the next turn. We play, I believe, what is it? Two Salamangreat Great Armorage, basically to send out your Dark Beckoning Beast to the graveyard, so you can have that extra monster in there, and you can have the Dark Beckoning Beast in the graveyard for your magic card, the 7 Spirit Gates. And so it's an effect where you can tribute himself and stop one card from being destroyed. Play the Nightmare package. We all know what these do. Pops monster, can send a monster, I believe, from the field back to the hand or deck. Oh, yeah, we know what these do. Your Phoenix to pop back row if you need more back row hate. Play the one Relinquish Anima. Basically, you can take one card on their field that he points to. I play the one IP Masquerena, and then you go into your Unicorn. This card here, I play with Pentastag. Pentastag you have on your board, but you want to have your Ravael below it, especially with the Shimmering Scraper. He'll get 8,000 attack, and he can hit all the cards on the field, whether in defense or not, and he can just penetrate and pierce for damage. We play the one Predator Plant Verde Anaconda to help us to get to our Amirage. Send the fusion card to the graveyard, bring out Amirage, attack for game. Now I play the Gustav package. Discard material, burn your opponent for 2,000, bring him out. You can take a card out or detach a card, and he'll gain 2,000 attack, and you can have a 6,000 attack beater. Ravenous, because we do gain life points with the trap card, and our life points can increase more than theirs, and we can just hit them very hard. And if you detach one material, you can destroy all face-up monsters your opponent control that are attacking that it's an attack or less. And we play lastly the Dark Charmer. You know, they have Dragoon in the graveyard. We can take the Dragoon, and we can also, when it's destroyed, we can add one dark monster from our graveyard or from our deck to our hand. That's it. I hope you guys understand how to play this deck, or hopefully you guys play this deck. It's a real fun one. Just that hand traps really hurt. And I'm continuing to build this deck and other decks, but thank you guys. That's my Sacred Beast deck, and hope you